Hello, everybody. It's great to see such a great audience here. I'm going to describe a methodology that we're piloting right now. I work in an analytics consulting team at Mercer, and it's a way to apply some analytics to one of the problems we're all thinking about and a challenge that we see in the future, and that is, what is the disruption that's going to be caused by this digital transformation, and what jobs are going to be impacted by it? We know a lot of jobs are going to be impacted, some are going to go away, some are going to significantly change. We already see in the financial services industry, a lot fewer bank branches. We see at one large bank, bots are expected to handle 1.7 million access requests this year, doing the work of 140 people. We know even in trading, commodities, portfolio, and trading that artificial intelligence is already being used. So we know a lot of jobs are going to be impacted. As HR, we need to get ahead of the game. How do we get ahead of the game so we can plan so that we can redefine jobs, people that are going to be impacted? How do we upskill, reskill? What other corollary jobs might they be capable of doing because of the jobs that they're in? And so doing all this, we can create new career paths, job mobility, migration, better understand which jobs are going to be impacted, how are those people going to be impacted, and how do we move those people, on to something else. So, there's been studies out there. The Fry and Osborne on the left, they're labor economists. They came up with a way to study the impact of automation. They say 47% of all the jobs in the U.S. and people are in those jobs are going to be impacted by automation. In the U.S. 9%, the OECD, they say 9%. McKinsey Global Institute quoted 5% are going to be, fully automatable. So, what is it? World Economic Forum, 43% of 35 core skills are unstable. So what is it? Is it 47? Is it 9? Is it 5%? How do we know what's going to go away? So we believe that we need to analyze this, and it can be very company specific because the same job title across different companies can actually be different and look different and might be more or less susceptible to automation. We know AI and technology will change activities and the knowledge requirements of certain jobs. As I said, and it can vary across different countries. So estimating the digital world's impact on activities and knowledge, we think is, as I said before, key to identifying career pathways, reskilling efforts, and how digitization will affect demographic groups. We also think there's some jobs that could have an impact on different race ethnicity groups because they're more populated percentage-wise in jobs that are more susceptible to automation. So how can we look at the impact from a diversity inclusion perspective as well? All right, so what are we going to do? What's this process? So we piloted this in a small way. We're working with financial institutions in Chicago here to do a bigger pilot to try to understand what the impact is going to be, which jobs are going to be most vulnerable, and how does it vary across companies, even for the same job titles. So in doing this, we first need to understand the knowledge requirements and activities that are performed by a job. Oftentimes this isn't very well defined by companies, so we match key jobs in an organization to the ONET, if you're familiar with the ONET, which is the large depository of all job information in the US, and we can pull more activities and skills and so forth from there, and then we conduct surveys. We conduct surveys with job incumbents to find out which of these activities they actually do on their job and how important of it are they. We have subject matter experts, which are more supervisors or higher level people of those jobs, and perform ratings on those activities in terms of their susceptibility to automation. So we understand what the most important activities are and knowledge requirements and what's most susceptible to automation. Okay, once we know that, we can look at the jobs and sort of organize our jobs of those that are most susceptible to being significantly changed, and also the people who are going to be impacted by that as well. So then what do we do? Does this look familiar? This is it almost looks like a network analysis, which is a analytical approach to often used to look at people's and their relationships within a company and who connects with who emails who, and all of that information. But what this does is using a network analysis methodology and approach. It allows us to figure out what are the corollary jobs to those jobs that are most susceptible to automation. And by that I mean these are jobs that have similar knowledge requirements and activities that are less susceptible to automation. And this network analysis helps you. In the middle there are actuaries, for insurance, and what are actuaries most connected to. You see auditors and so forth. And so this network map just shows you what this job is connected to, because these other jobs have similar skill and responsibility requirements. And if we know that, then we can put a plan in place to say, if we know X number of people are going to be impacted by this job, which our subject matter experts are saying is very susceptible to being replaced by automation, then we have all these people with a potential career path into some of these other jobs that then can help us define what's it going to take to get them there. Is it going to be some reskilling or upskilling? But at least we know there's something similar about these other jobs to what they were currently doing, so they should be able to perhaps learn and upskill. And the key to all this, of course, is getting ahead of the game and not waiting until jobs do go away or automation takes a job away, having to lay people off, or we have extra people over here and then we're short in these higher skill jobs. If we can get ahead of that game and try to figure out which jobs are most susceptible to automation, who are the people that are going to be impacted, and then start now on the path of what career path could they take and what skilling and upskilling would be required. Thank you.